she was telling me that she feels like she's poured so much money and energy into her website, and she's just not getting out of it what she wants. It's just not bringing her clients. If anything, it's bringing her headaches. It's bringing her people that are contacting her all the time trying to sell her something versus wanting to get her services or products. I had a really interesting conversation with someone who was watching the show last week, and she started telling me about how she feels about her website and the internet, and it was really funny. I didn't get her specific permission to share her exact written email with you, so I'm not going to read her email word for word, but if I get her permission, I will, because it was really funny. She was referring to her website and her relationship with the internet like a bad relationship with a boyfriend. It was really funny, and I can identify, right? You can identify with that kind of an idea. She was telling me that she feels like she's poured so much money and energy into her website, and she's just not getting out of it what she wants. It's just not bringing her clients. If anything, it's bringing her headaches. It's bringing her people that are contacting her all the time trying to sell her something versus wanting to get her services or products. This is a common frustration. I hear this a lot. So I wanted to share with you this morning a couple thoughts that I have on this topic, what we can do about it, and how to move forward from here. So the first thing to tell you is scam emails. You're getting a lot of email. If you've got a website, you're getting a lot of email all the time about people offering their SEO services, right? There are these scripts, they find you and they send you this email, and a lot of it's automated. A lot of it is not people coming to your website and actively reaching out to you personally. A lot of it is people that have created these bots, these robots, basically, these spider bots that crawl the internet, look for any kind of an email address or a form, fill it out, and just bombard you with offers, hoping that's going to work and someone's going to pick up on it. It must work because otherwise they wouldn't do it. But I just ignore those emails. You probably do too. Or you get so many of them, you begin to think, gosh, is this something I need? Is this something I need to think about? And maybe you're hearing the phrase SEO a lot. And I got to tell you, it's the snake oil of my industry right now. Everyone wants to sell you SEO. Oh, you need SEO on your website. Oh, your website can't be found. Said the people who just found your website to contact you about your website not being able to be found. Does that ever happen to you? Tell me if that happens to you. The people that email you from your website saying that no one can find your website? Anyway. So yeah, it's the snake oil of my industry. All these people are telling you, you need SEO. What they're really telling you is, you need to pay me, this guy, $1,000 to $2,000 a month for SEO. And you don't even know what SEO is. And you don't even know what they're going to do for that money. How frustrating for you. How frustrating for me to be in the industry where that's happening to everyone, everywhere I look. So I'm here to share with you a little bit more information about that. What they're talking about, and how we can make it work for you. And quite frankly, there's a lot of this stuff that you can do yourself on your website. If you need help from me, of course I'm going to help you. If you need help from a web developer that you already work with locally or something, by all means reach out to them and have them help you. But I want to shed some light a little bit on what they're talking about, because they just use this phrase SEO and you don't know what it means and you don't know what they're doing. And here's the honest truth. There's companies out there that's going to charge you $1,000 to $2,000 a month and then do nothing for you. They're just collecting their check, and that sucks. And I'm here to share with you some actual real strategies about what you can do on your website to attract more valuable traffic. Sure, you're getting a lot of scammers. You're getting a lot of people trying to sell you their nonsense, their SEO nonsense. Don't even reply to them. They might be in I don't want to say that, but don't reply to them, because it's just spam. You didn't ask for their help. You didn't ask for their emails, and they're just bombarding you with it. And you can't, how can you trust someone you don't know and have never met? I don't know. You don't just send your money off to these people telling you need to pay them $1,000. That's all I'm saying. So let's talk this morning about what is SEO and what are some things that you as a business owner can do with your website to get more valuable traffic. Okay, let's do it. So there's two things I want to tell you about. So if you want more traffic, what you're really asking is for an SEO strategy. CJ, what's SEO? You promised to not repeat acronyms I don't understand. You're right. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And it's a weird thing where your website naturally should contain the information that will attract people to you. There are things you can do on an ongoing basis to help with the SEO of your website. We're going to talk about that this morning. So what is SEO? You keep saying it. Search engine optimization. It basically means how attractive is your website to a search engine. We've got a really tricky thing that we have to do. It's a balancing act because we have to appeal to two different entities. We have to appeal on one side to this robot that is Google, this machine, this Google robot machine that is judging our website based on an algorithm and criteria. There's hundreds of line items in their algorithm, and we're all jockeying for position on that Google search page. And so the concept of SEO simply means how attractive, how juicy is your website to Google, so that Google will rank you above your competitor or not. How does that happen? It's all about their algorithm, and we're going to talk about how to help that situation. And there's several things that we can do. So let's jump into it. When we talk about getting more traffic, when we talk about an SEO strategy, I want to talk about it in two separate ways, but they go together. So we're going to talk about on-page and off-page. On-page and off-page, okay? And basically, on-page is everything we're going to do on your website itself, and off-page is everything that we're going to do away from your website. Remember how I tell you every week, your website is the #1 tool to grow and support your business. That's the hub for everything that you do online. Everything should be published to your website first and then sent out to the rest of the world. We're going to talk about why that is this morning. So we've got on page, that's your website itself, and then we've got off page. That's everything else that links back to your website. Hopefully it links back to your website. So these are the two pieces. On page, what we're doing on your website, that's kind of like the bait. It's kind of like we're fishing for traffic to come into our website. So everything that we're doing on your website acts like bait to attract those incoming people. And then all the stuff that's off page, those are all the links and the articles that you're putting out there that then tie back in and link back in to your website. So we're going to spend a few minutes this morning talking about each one of those pieces. And there's a little bit to cover in each one, but they do relate together, and you can put them in one strategy that's doing both. We're going to talk about that right now. So let's start with your on-page SEO strategy. So the first thing I want to tell you about is a basic page structure or hierarchy. Now, oh, I remember what I was going to say a few minutes ago. We have to appeal to two different entities. Number one is the Google robot, but number two is the human person that's coming to your website, the human person. So this is very tricky. Why? Because Google wants all the facts and figures and words and details it can possibly have. Fill Google up with words and details, and it loves you. But human behavior, human users cannot have too much information put in their face at one time or they'll shut down. So it's this really tricky balancing act. You've got to have all the details and facts in your website, but don't put everything on your home page because that's going to drive away the human users. What do we do, CJ? How do we do that? This is how we do that. Let's talk about a basic page structure and a hierarchy for your website. That is to say, over these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different places or pages on your website, you want all those facts and figures and words spread out across all of these 10 different pages and places, not crammed into your homepage. We don't want to slam or bombard your human user visitor with too much information. They'll freeze up, they'll be driven away. We don't want that to happen. So it's a matter of having the information in your website, but having it a couple levels deep, because Google will still see it no matter where it is in your website, but the human user won't be bombarded with too much information right away. We want them to come to your website. We want your homepage to be very clean and inviting. Just communicate who you are, the people you serve, how you're helping them, a couple testimonials, and some links into the other areas of your site. Link to your about page, link to your services page. Okay? Not a lot of information on your homepage. It should be clean and just present the ability to get to all the other sections. Then, when the person clicks to go deeper into your website, you can give them a little bit more. So think of your homepage as basically just a couple headlines and some bullet points and some links to explore deeper. Then when they click that, the user is saying, okay, tell me more about that. When they do that and we go into that next page of your site, then you can give them a little bit of information, a little bit more. Not too much. Think in headlines and bullet points. Headlines and bullet points. And then you're going to have a read more button. And then they'll say, oh, I want to read more about that. And they're going to click it. And then they're going to go even further, even deeper into your website. At this point, they've clicked twice. They've clicked Tell Me More on your homepage, and they've clicked Tell Me More on your services page, for example. At that point, they're asking for it. They're asking for more information. Now you can give them all those facts and figures. So I want you to look at this chart right here. Let me show it to you in full screen. I want you to look at this chart right here, and I want you to think about how your website is structured based on the pages, based on the hierarchy of information. I kind of think of it like when we were in college and we were writing our reports and our essays, you had to create an outline of what you were going to talk about in your essay. Think of your website the same way. Google loves a structure. Google loves a hierarchy. Google loves pages underneath other pages. So you should have a homepage, of course, but remember, don't put everything on your homepage. Instead, use it as a jumping off point into the other pages and areas of your site. Then on those other pages, you can have more information. So here's some common things you should have in your site. Home, about us, services or products, frequently asked questions, contact us, resources, and a blog. Maybe if it's right for you, have a blog. And then look what I've done here under services. I've got service 1, service 2, service 3. There's a lot of good information here. So let me, again, stop me if you have any questions. Ask me follow-up questions. I'm delivering a lot of information in a short amount of time. So please give me those follow-up questions. I'll answer them anytime, okay? Tweet me, leave a comment, come to the Facebook group, make a new comment, whatever you want to do to ask me that question. So think of it like this. On your services page, again, similar to your home page, you don't want to give them all the information right away. Instead, it's like, these are the top 3 services we offer, and a little bit of details, headlines and bullet points, and a read more link. Because when they click read more on your services page, then you jump them into what we call the sub page. So I'm just going to use myself as an example. So if you go to my services page, you're going to see I offer website design, website hosting, directory listing support, that kind of a thing. Website coaching, kind of what we're doing right now. And then when you click the read more button, you jump into the website design page. Now, once you get into the website design page, I tell you a lot about web design. I tell you a lot about the different options. Do you need an e-commerce site? Do you need a membership site? Do you need a basic site, right? There's a lot of information there, but you're going to have to click a couple times to get there, because if I put all that on the home page, it would just drive you away. So it's a couple levels deep. Now remember, Google can still see it. Google can see it no matter what page it's on. So you still get the benefit of having all the words and keywords on your website, but you don't drive away the human user because it's a couple levels deep and they have to get to it by clicking and clicking. And by the time they've done that, they're interested and they will read more because they've asked for it. See the difference? They come to your website, we bombard them, and that drives them away. Or they come to your website, I want to know more about that. Oh, services. Okay. Oh, that one. And they click it. Oh, I want to learn more about that. Then you give it to them. So think of your website structure. Think of its hierarchy. Think about how you can have pages under other pages. And this does a lot of things. It helps you organize your information. It helps you put certain keywords in key places. It helps you create the structure that Google loves and really that humans love to get to the information they need in the order that they need to get there. There's a lot of questions that you can ask me about any of these things. Please do. I also want to point out your frequently asked questions page is an amazing place to have keywords. Oh, by the way, what are keywords? I keep using the word keywords. Keywords is just talking about your stuff. There's nothing magical about it. You don't have to do a lot of research on keywords. What are my keywords? You know, that used to be something that we spent a lot of time worrying about. I don't think we need to do that anymore. Google has evolved and gotten very smart. So all you need to do is talk about what you do. What are your services? Tell me your top 3 services, maybe 5, maybe 7. Tell me your top services. Tell me what they include. Tell me the benefits of doing the business with you. And by the time you do that, you will automatically be using the right keywords in the right places. So don't spend a lot of time stressing about what keywords do I need to use. Just talk. Just talk normally and naturally about what you do, who it serves, and how it helps them. If you do that, you will be using the right keywords naturally. Meanwhile, have a frequently asked questions page, because this is an amazing place to answer some questions in a way that you're not answering really anywhere else on your site. And it's amazing for keywords, and it's amazing for a Google search, because imagine that you're answering these top 3 questions that you're asked all the time. Guess what? There's people searching Google for that answer. So they're over here typing to Google, how do I whatever. And if you've got that on your frequently asked questions page, Google's going to say, oh, here's the answer to your question, and take them right to it. Frequently asked questions page, dynamite for keywords. Does that make sense? Let me know what follow-up questions you have about that, okay? Let's move into this next piece. So now on the